So the bracket is set. America will face Cruz Azul. Do we have to bet something now, Mal?
We'll talk about it.
Or are you more focused on America?
I mean, we can talk about whatever. I'm just
your head,
focused on. Listen.
We
someone had to cut their hair because San Luis won. I don't know if that's going to happen again. Are we going to replicate that bet or what?
Can we bring the eyebrow bet back? By the way, because
you were there.
That was actually
he chickened out.
He did. There's something called microblading that could help with the eyebrows.
But
anyway. All right, so we see the semifinals already set here for the Liga MX, but let's talk about the losers here. Mau, I'm going to start with you. Who had the biggest fracaso from the Liga MX quarterfinals for you?
That's got to be Tigres. It's got to be Tigres. They have the star power. They went through a very shameful decision of removing...
Here's another word, you scared me.
No. Shameful decision of removing under very questionable forms Robert Dante Siboldi to bring Veljko Paunovic. And it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season. It only matters for a team like Tigres what you do in the postseason, in La Liguilla. You know what they didn't do? They didn't score. They didn't score once against a team with a way humble budget like San Luis. And the size of the fracaso, I think, translates to the fact that when we talk about Tigres in the past 10, 12 years in Liga MX, they have established themselves as one of the powerhouses.
Yep.
So you cannot go out like that. I'm not going to take any credit away from my hometown team, San Luis. They did well, but
however,
Tigres was supposed to advance in this series.
Of course.
Just because they had the players, they had the reputation, they have the experience at this level, and San Luis, with a very well-structured team, was able to knock them out.
Yeah, I'm not going to take the pressure away from San Luis, but by the way, second straight semifinal appearance for San Luis. Let's not forget, that's a very good team right there with a very good core group of players that only had one less win than Tigres. So this is a upset because of the budgets here and the star power, if you will. Not an upset if you think about what San Luis has been for the better part of a year. You've covered San Luis for a long time. You know this is one of the better groups of San Luis that you have seen. And it goes beyond Dominic Torrent. This team has been heading down or trending in the right direction. I don't think it was Tigres. Trust me, it's always a fracaso for Tigres. They've been in 2 finals in the last 3 tournaments. So it's always going to be a fracaso with that star power because they're the biggest winner in Liga MX over the past 13, 14 years. They're the winningest team. 6 leagues. They've been to a Libertadores final. They've won Copa MX. They've won Conca Champions. They've been to a Club World Cup final. All those things. So that's always going to be out there. But let me throw something your way, if I may.
Champagne problems they have.
It is Juan Carlos Osorio and Xolos. Think about this for a second. The only thing you have if you're Xolos is your home form. Is how well you do on that synthetic surface. And you've got 2 bites of the apple. You've got America that you can lose to, and you lose after being ahead. You go out, not even in penalty kicks, you go out right before a boneheaded red card, and you said, oh, it's no problem. We got to beat Atlas, and you beat Atlas. So now you play your 3rd game in, 8 days, and you play against Cruz Azul, house money, nothing to lose at home, and you absolutely give him the business. Juan Carlos Osorio special. The way that nobody thought you could do. It's Alemania versus Mexico all over again.
Juan Cambios Osorio?
Yes, it's Juan Carlos Osorio and the Mexican national team versus Germany all over again. You prepared all year for this game, and you did it. You hit the world champions in the mouth right where you needed to. And now you go back into that second half against a 10-man Cruz Azul, and you're like, let's put 1 in the goal. It's going to be 4. They're not going to come back for this. It's game over.
It's Cruz Azul.
And you can't. It's okay. It's still a 3-0 first leg lead heading into Ciudad de los Deportes in Mexico City against a Cruz Azul that is known for blowing it. They're halfway through a Cruz Azulada. And then what do? You change your team again. Juan Carlos Osorio, Juan Cambios Osorio. And you make all the changes to defend. You go against your own DNA. Like you did against Sweden.
Sweden, yeah, sorry.
And there
in English, my bad.
goes. Juan Carlos Osorio and Xolos implode in the most spectacular Juan Carlos Osorio way possible. A 3-0 win heading into the second leg. And you can't put Cruz Azul away, a team that is known for blowing it.
Yeah.
You are the one who Cruz Azul out. You are the one who blows it. This is the biggest fracaso of all.
My problem with that is that it's like Cruz Azul did nothing to win that game. And Cruz Azul was excellent. Martin Anselmi
Takes two to tango.
I understand that, but this is 1 against 8. This is the number 1 seed, Cruz Azul, against the number 8
You see
seed.
Pantera Zúñiga, and you see Efrain Alvarez, how many chances they missed?
My God, Pantera Zúñiga. Is he a real professional player? That's one of the worst performances
It was
I've
pretty bad.
seen in my life.
You have one job.
Quote unquote,
You have one
professional
job.
player.
In his defense,
So
he
wait,
was playing
hold
as a
on.
9, and they took him out of that position, and
but
he
what
looked
you're
terrible
saying
in
is
it.
Pantera had a couple of chances, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that was part of the plan.
Yes, but
So
you're the-
Osorio put the players in a position to succeed.
I don't believe he did.
Did he?
I
don't
mean,
believe he did.
This is the problem with this is the problem with Juan Carlos Osorio. He's extremely polarizing, right? Either he is the second coming of Pep Guardiola, right? Or he's the second coming of El Profe Cruz, with all due respect to El Profe Cruz.
Hey, el profe Cruz.
But Profe Cruz was fine, sorry. But I don't put it all on Juan Carlos Osorio. It's also the players, and I cannot label this a fracaso, a failure, when it's the number 1 seed record holder, Cruz Azul, 41
a
points in the regular
three-goal
season
deficit.
against the number 8 team that had not made the
And the
playoffs in the
only-
past 5
and the
years.
only way
But
you
not
hurt
even,
him is
not even
offensively.
a week ago, we did Ahora o Nunca on Friday. You were tipping your cap to Juan Carlos Osorio.
I was.
He wanted him for the Mexican national team.
I was. That's why I'm
and took it
defending him.
off.
I am defending him here. I am defending him. It's not everything on Osorio, but when something like this happens,
But it's a big part, and he doesn't learn
he's
his lesson.
part of it.
If
But
it ain't
where-
broke, don't
where's the
fix it.
responsibility of the players?
But that's what Chris, you're exactly right, because you move an important piece from the center of the eje de ataque, the point of reference in the attack, and then you say, let me put him on the left-hand side, and you say, Efrain Alvarez, you say Bebote, you know, these players, Reynoso, you say all these different players are doing so well for you. No. I got to not have you there because I need players who are going to defend. The way you hurt this team, you no longer want to hurt them that way. Now you want to go against your own DNA and try to hurt them a different way, and you hurt yourself.
I mean, I think he made one mistake, and it was not in the second leg. It was in the first leg.
The fourth goal.
3-0 up.
Yeah.
Cruz Azul playing with 10. He should have gone for the fourth. And Cruz Azul is not coming back
But you know
from
how
a
crazy
four-goal
you know
deficit.
how crazy that sounds? If you got a 3-goal advantage, you lock that up, you take it home. You got to score 1 goal, it forces them to score.
But they
four.
had
You
a
gotta score
chance
2
to
goals,
put it
score
away.
That is
They had a chance to put it away. No, well, it clearly wasn't
That's
the
what we're
case.
saying.
Because Cruz Azul came
You
all the way
have to
back from
try
a 3-goal
you have to
deficit.
play the same way
But
'cause
it's
you don't wanna
not
be aggressive.
It's not all on Juan Carlos Osorio. He's an easy target.
No, I'm not
Easy.
saying it's all on Juan
Easy.
Carlos Osorio. I'm saying that's the biggest fracaso. It's from Xolos de Juan Carlos Osorio.
Yeah. Okay, so my biggest fracaso was Toluca because we expected so much more from them, not only in Liguilla, but against an America team that had struggled during the regular season. To me, it's crazy that we're not talking more about Toluca and the fact that they didn't score 1 goal. As I said, they actually did score 1 goal, but it was actually for the other team. It's insane to me that in 180 minutes, they had 4 goals against them and nothing after a fantastic regular season where we basically put Toluca not only in the semifinal, but possibly as one of the favorites to take it all, because this looked like a team identity-wise that finally had recovered something that we had been missing from them at home. And when it comes to Toluca in Liguilla, I'm a little bit traumatized myself when it comes to facing Toluca in Liguilla. And when I say myself, I mean Monterrey in 2005 after a fabulous away game. It was 3-3, and then I don't even want to talk about what happened in the final de vuelta, what was the second leg of the final. Saludos a Chiqui Drácula.
El Tolo Gallegos, Toluca, eh?
That was terrible. But what I want, I say all this to say, Toluca should have done so much more against America. This should have been their statement win. This should have been their statement message.
Against who or whom?
Whom? You can say whom.
Against whom?
America.
And America is the current what?
Okay.
2-time league champion.
Right, and a team that was criticized during the entire regular season.
Because they didn't have a fit squad, and
But it's America, Mau, at the end of the day.
Hurt, weren't you? Toluca's record was kind of deceiving because they were good at home. They had a fantastic, probably the signing of the season in Paulinho, right?
Who was good at home?
A manager that had really highs, but also considerably worrisome lows with Renato Paiva. But America had a plan. And the plan was to have a fit squad right at the start of the playoffs.
And it wasn't even fit.
And André Jardine has been there before. And I think it was just, Toluca had a great form, yes. But if I ask you, who's the better team? And it's probably America.
But it should have been Toluca at this point.
Here's the thing. Stone cold, hard numbers here. Renato Paiva with Toluca in 4 postseason appearances, this coach, his team has scored 0 goals. So as good as they were, Campeón de Goleo, the Golden Boot winner, and Paulinho, who scored 13 goals, but 12 of them were at home. A team like Toluca, who played against the big boys and all of a sudden wasn't so great versus the big boys, heading to play against a team like Club America, who, yes, was hurt, hobbled, and maybe looked at it in a different way for most of the season. I kept saying, if they get healthy and they regain that memory they had, that's going to be a difficult team to play against. And they proved it in leg 1. It could have been 4-0. Yeah. And they proved it in leg 2. So this is a fracaso for Toluca? Absolutely.
Yeah,
but it tells me more about America than it does Toluca. And I would have gone one further. We're not even talking about Pumas right now. Because
not yet.
And honestly, there's some polemic calls there, but I have no idea how you lose the first game and get 5 scored on you at home in the second game, for as polemic as the calls were. And we're not talking about the team that's not won since 2010, 2011?
11, yeah.
They've not won in anything. Copa MX, Conca Champions, nothing. They've actually lost. They've actually got something to be embarrassed. They're the only Mexican team to lose an MLS team in a Conca Champions final. So
what was their biggest strength? Defending. Pumas defending.
And they got 5 goals scored against
5.
them. So, so listen, there are a lot of fracasos here, a lot of them. But I probably would have put in Pumas before Tolucas.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because it's Rayados too.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna talk about that here in a little bit.